but sometimes it gets hard. My name's Dax.
In this video, we'll explore the profound differences between the God of Israel, as presented in the Torah and the Bible, and the God of Islam as described in the Quran. This comparison highlights how these two faiths view their relationship with God, the spread of their beliefs, and how they treat others, including women and foreigners. 1. Israel as God's firstborn in the Bible ***. In the Torah, we see that God speaks of Israel with a special intimacy. In the book of Exodus 4 verse 22, God commands Moses to tell Pharaoh, "Israel is my firstborn son." Here, God's relationship with Israel is depicted as a familial bond, one based on love, not servitude. This theme carries over into the New Testament, where Jesus is called the Son of God and refers to God as Father, inviting all believers into a personal relationship with God as his children. In contrast, in Islam, the relationship between God or Allah and his followers is one of master and servant. The Quran often emphasizes submission to Allah's will. In Surah 51:56, Allah says, "I created jinn and humans only that they might worship me." This underscores that Muslims see themselves as servants of God, not children or sons, which shapes a fundamentally different approach to God. 2. Spreading faith, love versus compulsion. Christianity and Islam also differ profoundly in how they spread their beliefs. Jesus taught his followers to spread the gospel through love, self-will, and example. When Jesus commissioned his disciples to share the good news, he instructed them to do so with patience and love, as in Matthew 28 verses 19-20, urging them to make disciples and teach, not to coerce or threaten. In Islam, however, the Quran includes commands that allow, and at times encourage force in spreading Islam. In Surah 9:29, Allah commands Muslims to fight those who do not believe in Allah. This directive has been interpreted by some Muslims as a call to jihad, a concept which can mean struggle, but, historically, has sometimes involved armed conflict to expand Islamic rule. This approach is different from Christianity's teachings, where conversion and discipleship are acts of free will. 3. Treatment of foreigners. Love and respect versus division ***. The Torah and Bible emphasize love and respect for all people, especially foreigners. In Leviticus 19 verses 33-34, God instructs the Israelites to treat foreigners as their own. When a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. Love them as yourself, for you were foreigners in Egypt. This call for compassion reminds the Israelites of their own struggles and encourages empathy and kindness. In Islam, treatment of non-Muslims, or infidels, can vary but is generally set within clear boundaries. Non-Muslims are often divided into categories, with specific rules governing how they should be treated. While some interpretations of the Quran encourage kindness, others, such as in Surah 9, suggest a more restrictive or divisive approach toward those who reject Islam. 4. Treatment of women. A critical area where the two religions differ is in their treatment of women. In Christianity, the Bible calls for mutual love and respect in marriage. In Ephesians 5 verse 25, husbands are instructed to love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. This sets a high standard for marriage, highlighting love, sacrifice, and mutual care. In Islam, the treatment of women is structured differently. While some Quranic verses call for fairness to women, there are also verses, such as Surah 4:34, that allow husbands to discipline their wives if they fear disobedience. In traditional Islamic law, women's rights and roles can be more restricted, affecting areas like marriage, inheritance, and legal testimony. These differences in approach reveal different values and expectations within the family structure. 5. Historical context. The spread of Islam and Christianity. Historically, the spread of Islam involved the use of force in many regions. Historical accounts document Muhammad's own military campaigns, where cities and tribes were sometimes given the choice to convert, pay a tax, or face conflict. Many mosques were later built on conquered lands, including some in Israel, as symbols of Islamic rule. In contrast, Christianity initially spread through peaceful missions and martyrdom, with early Christians choosing to die rather than abandon their faith or force others to convert. In conclusion, the God of Israel as revealed in the Torah and Bible invites people into a family of love, urging believers to treat others with respect and kindness. Christianity's approach to faith is built on love, free will, and self-sacrifice. In Islam, the emphasis is on obedience and submission to Allah, with rules that can be more restrictive and a historical spread that included forced conversion in some regions. These differences shape not only beliefs but the ways that followers of each faith are called to live, relate to others, and serve God. Thank you for watching. If you found this video enlightening, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us here at the Celestial Israelites. We're dedicated to bringing you deep insights, biblical stories, and discussions that shed light on our faith and history. Stay tuned for more impactful content, and don't miss out on the journey. Subscribe today